welcome to this week's edition of Bergen Outlook. I'm your host this week, Daniel Graham. Now, it always seems like no matter what time of year it is, we're always talking about football. I mean, the Super Bowl happened about a month ago, and we're already talking about the NFL Combine, free agents, trades, the draft, whatever. And since everyone here at Bergen Outlook, we're not prepared to say anything else other than we're just going to talk about football today. And we have a very special guest with us. He was a standout high school athlete at Hapakon High School. He played college ball at Rutgers, and he suited up for the New York Giants this past season. Will you please welcome Joe Martinek?
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I like you here. You should come back.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so how's everything going? How was the drive over here?
No, it was real easy. Just hop on the Parkway, and since I live a couple minutes from the stadium, so it was really easy to get here.
Okay. Well, once again, we thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Let's just get down to business. Let's see. Just tell us just a brief background, your times at Hapakon High School. What did you get to accomplish during your high school years?
I had a great high school career. I was surrounded by a lot of great people. Growing up in middle school, I had to make a decision if I wanted to stay home or go to a parochial school. Del Barton wanted me. I got accepted in there, so I had to make a decision if go there, commute there, or stay home with my friends, and that's what I decided to do. I tried to stay home, with my friends and my community. It meant a lot to me because I grew up there. So I had a great high school career. Some things that I'm very proud of is I have 2 state records, in 2 different sports. I hold the freshman javelin record, and my state career rushing record is definitely something I hold dear to my heart. I was also able to get the Gatorade State Player of the Year my senior year, and my school nominated me as the scholar athlete for the county.
Wow. Now, did you feel like if you went to a parochial school, did you feel like the competition was going to be greater? Did you feel obligated to go there if you wanted to pursue a football career, or at least a promising one?
The decision was, people perceive that you go to a bigger school, more competition, right, that you're going to get more looked at, and you're going to get more opportunities. But not all the time that's the case. If you're a great athlete and you have the determination and you have the work ethic and you have the grades to go to college and play college football, if you're good enough, they're going to find you. And as long as you're willing to put in the hard work, do what it takes to get your name out there, someone's going to find you.
Now, did any colleges come see you at Hapakon High School? Did any big name colleges come to see you or talk to you?
A lot of schools did. Penn State was a big name. Miami. For just a few schools, they didn't offer me, but I had a whole bunch of schools come in and come visit my coach and come talk to me. So that was being in high school and seeing all these coaches come in was a pretty neat experience. But the only offers I had were from Rutgers and Vanderbilt. Okay,
so what made you go to Rutgers over Vanderbilt? Was it the location, or was it?
I think people ask me that, and I probably would have picked Rutgers over any school, to be honest with you. The facilities they have there, close to home. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I haven't really left the state that much. I love it here in New Jersey. This is I feel Jersey is part of me. So, to play for a state that only has a school that only has one state school. It was a great honor for me to represent the state of New Jersey, the state I was born and raised in. So, the coaching staff, Coach Shiano and everyone, they were going to do what it takes, to help me grow as a man and to make me a better football player.
Mm-hmm. Now, you came in, your freshman year was 2007, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you were redshirted that first year, so you didn't play, but you had an extra year of college eligibility. Do you think that redshirting is beneficial from both points of view, from the coach's point of view and the player's point of view?
I mean, absolutely. It's, redshirting at first, you don't really want a redshirt because, you want to get out there, play right away. In high school, you're always the guy, and you're always, leading the team. But, some kids just aren't ready. And, looking back, I wasn't ready. I got, blessed with the opportunity to come in with, Anthony Davis, who was a 10th overall pick. Obviously, he was ready to play, and he started right away. So, some people just are ready, some people aren't. It definitely helped me, get bigger, stronger, learn the game. And, Ray Rice was there at the time I was there. So, I was learning from him. So, just won the Super Bowl. So I was just, learning from one of the best. in the game. So, he taught me a lot of things, and he, even though I only spent one fall semester, one fall season with him, he taught me a lot, and he helped me out.
Mm-hmm. Now, you finished, you went undrafted in the draft. Well, this is just a side question. Did you feel that you were going to be drafted, or did you have a feeling that, maybe I will go on as an undrafted free agent?
No, I didn't know what was going to happen. I heard many different things. I heard all the way from the fourth round to, not being drafted. So I wasn't really had anything set in my mind. I just had a plan no matter what was happening. If I was drafted, it was, it would be a dream come true. But if I was undrafted, I had a plan, and I had a plan set because, at that point I can pick where I wanted to go. So it was, that happened, and, I had a plan. I was ready to go, and, luckily I got to, the Giants came calling.
Mm-hmm. Now, did any other teams talk to you about coming on?
Right. Houston, was calling me all day.
Really?
Detroit was a few, Arizona. There's a few teams, but Tampa Bay was another one with Shannon down there. So, after working out with the Giants a few weeks earlier, it was an easy decision.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you feel like you had to prove a lot more, coming in as you weren't drafted or anything? Did you feel like you had to make a lot more of yourself to see if you could make the roster?
I mean, absolutely, because if you're drafted, the team has a lot invested in those guys, and I'm just an undrafted free agent. So I need to go out there, prove that I belong there first of all, learn the system, just basically compete and just let them know that I deserve to be there.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back with Joe Martinek. Plenty more, so stick around, please.
In the shotgun, Martinek will fake the handoff and run it himself. The old Wildcat inside the 40, 35-30, Martinek to the 20, and Martinek is gone for the Rutgers touchdown. The corner. Mealy's got no shot.
He's gone. Look at this.
Bruce Williams never had a shot.
He looks like he's running at half speed.
Look at him turn on the Jets.
But here's what happened is he did this. Watch the defense. Everybody goes. Now he's gone.
All right, welcome back. You just saw a clip of Joe Martinek playing football at Rutgers. That was a good Wildcat run against Syracuse, I believe. And so now we have that clip queued up. Let's talk about your experience at Rutgers, who you were able to play with, who eventually went on to play in the NFL or coached in the NFL. Let's start with, like you were saying before about Ray Rice. You were running back with him. Were there any special experiences that you had with working out with Ray Rice?
Just his work ethic and, his knowledge of the game. Especially in the film room, he would, one thing, that's what I was saying before, if I was blessed to have the opportunity to redshirt and be behind him, and, in the film room, he would, point out little things, to watch and, just to make you a better player. So, that's something that I took with me my whole career, and then, my junior, senior year, I'd pass down to, our young running backs. And as you see, Juwan Jamison, this past year, is a great friend of mine, and, I helped him, come in, learn the system, and, now look at him. He comes out early, and he's going to get drafted in, in a month.
Oh, wow. So, okay, let's see. Who else can we talk about? Let's talk about Greg Schiano. He was your coach, I think, for your whole career, and now he's with Tampa Bay. What were your experiences under Greg Schiano? Was he a good leader?
He's a great leader. He's, he's going to get you motivated. He's going to, make sure exactly, prepared. Make sure you're exactly prepared, for the task at hand. And like I said, a great motivator. He expects the best out of you, and he's going to push you, to become a better player and become a better man.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's a good one, Kenny Britt.
Kenny he's a freak athlete. So every time, he would just, in the weight room, he'd, just throw around, big weight. And some of the catches that I see him make in practice are pretty ridiculous. That, one-handers, just beating guys one-on-one coverage and, double coverage and, finding the seam and going over the middle. He's a freak athlete and, football player and as a receiver, he can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember there was speculation that the Giants were thinking about drafting him, but instead they went with Hakeem Nicks. Yeah. Of course, Kenny Britt's in Tennessee. He's been like their star receiver.
Yeah, he got hurt the other year, but other than that, he's been their number one guy.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You were talking about Anthony Davis before. He's with San Francisco now, right?
Yeah.
And he went 10th overall. Were you grateful that he was blocking for you?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, we came at the same time, so we got to become good friends. He was from Piscataway, and that's, obviously that's where Rutgers is. So, sometimes he would, show us around, take us, a couple of places, to hang out. So, becoming good friends with him, and, he's a big human being. He's a big guy, and some of the stuff that you see him do, and just toss people out of the hole, and I'm definitely grateful to have him block for me when I was there.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, everyone knows who he is now, and Eric LeGrand. What can you say about him? Before the injury, and his strength and recovery after the injury.
I mean, to be honest, before and after injury, he's the same person. We sat together in meetings every day that year, right next to each other. He was a year below me, but we became very good friends. It is a tragic thing that happened to him, but like if you ask anyone that knows him real well, he will walk again. He's he's an inspiration to the world, and he's someone that you could definitely look up to, and you need any advice, just listen to his words and what just think what he's going through and how he's handling it, and it makes anything in your life seem definitely manageable.
Yeah, I was at that game when he injured himself. That was at New Meadowland Stadium. Back then it was still New Meadowland Stadium, and you were playing Army. Right. I think it was about the third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was the third or fourth. I remember that, and we went in overtime, and I was blessed to score the winning touchdown in overtime.
Right. That's right. I remember that. But yeah, I mean, I never really followed college football that much, and I was just beneficial that the game was at just 5 minutes away from my house, and just out of all the games in the world, it happened, at a game that I was at. Right. So
yeah, it was a tragic event, but like I said, the type of person he is, he's a fighter. He's funny, goofy kid. He's still that funny, goofy kid. He'll walk in the room and just make everyone smile. It's he's just one of those guys, and like I said, before and after injuries, the same person. So he's always he's a dear friend to me, and it's always nice to see him.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you keep in contact with any former players, especially the ones that we were just talking about?
Right. Rutgers Pro Day is next week, so I'm going to be at that. So that's usually where a lot of us get together and see each other. So I keep in touch with Ray, Mohamed Sanu, Alex Silvestro, who's on the Ravens, who just won the Super Bowl with Ray. Brian Leonard is a good friend of mine. Kevin Mallist. Usually in this time of year we always go back to Rutgers. We all work out together, so always catch up after the season.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever think that when they were playing in the Super Bowl, you think Anthony Davis and Ray Rice may have met up in New Orleans? Maybe had some beers?
Maybe not before a game, but maybe after, or maybe Anthony Davis probably went home after the game, and because after losing the Super Bowl, I don't think you really feel like going out too much.
Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, when you were playing in the NFL and you were playing against people who you went to college with, did you feel like any sympathy, like when you were released on the field, like you knew you had to like run this guy over, but like you knew him for so long? Do you ever feel like, I can't run this guy over? He was my teammate.
No, that makes you feel even better because, you'll see him after, talk about it after, and you always have the edge on him. Mm-hmm. But, once you're in the game, all that goes, out the window because, you want that spot, and no one's going to give it to you, so you got to go out. I mean, you really just have to go out and take it.
Mm-hmm. Did you play with anyone when you were in high school and you were getting all this attention? Did you happen to play against anyone who eventually went to the NFL? When you played with them in high school?
I don't think so. Coming from a small school, even though the league isn't anymore, but the SAL, the league that I played in high school, and it was a great league. Every year we always had 2-3 teams in the in the state finals, but we really didn't get the respect that the league really deserves. But we played in a great league, and I did play against a lot of players. But a lot of players did go do great things in other sports.
Mm-hmm. Now, lastly, with Greg Schiano in Tampa Bay, do you think that he has the right tangibles to be an NFL head coach? Do you think his system would work?
Absolutely. His defensive mind is unlike any others. That's why I think going to Rutgers and going against his defense, it's so unique. It's an NFL defense because he worked with the Bears. He was the Bears secondary coach for a while. Then defensive coordinator, was with Miami secondary. Mm-hmm. He knows, defensively he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
So going against, his blitz packages and everything, it was basically going against an NFL
Okay, well,
defense.
we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Plenty more with Joe, so stay tuned.
23 yards.
Play fake. Parallel. Some touch on it. Hurdling. Joe Martinek. Touchdown, Giants. And Martinek, a rookie out of Rutgers from Hapatcong, New Jersey.
That was some nice hops there. So, Chris, that was, once again, that was our guest, Joe Martinek, scoring a preseason touchdown against the Jets. I had to put a little, 10-inch vertical jump on that guy?
A little bit. Luckily, I was a high jumper in high school, so once I caught the ball, so the clear path to the end zone, I said, I don't know when I'm going to get an opportunity like this again, so I got to make it count.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you were saying before, when you were picked up by the Giants, who exactly in the organization takes care of that, bringing in people to work out for the team?
A lot of scouts do that. We'll talk to my agent, and my agent relays me the message. So, my agent talked to the scouts, the running back coach, and people in the business part of the organization. So, I just wait for the phone call from my agent. He tells me what's the plan, what's the options, and we make a decision from there.
Mm-hmm. Did Jerry Reese get to talk to you at all? He's the general manager of the Giants.
I didn't talk to him then. I had a few conversations with him, but on draft day, like I said, I just talked to my agent, kept in touch with him, and he was scrambling around with all the different teams.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you got the call, was it directly after the draft, maybe like 5 minutes after the draft, or the next day, or the next week? When exactly did you get it?
It was directly after the draft, but during the 6th and 7th round, you start getting calls, just in case you aren't picked up. So, 10-15 minutes after the draft is over, undrafted free agents, that's when they sign. Mm-hmm. So it's, as the draft's going on, you kind of know once that last pick is picked, you kind of have an idea on, where you're going to go.
Mm-hmm. Now, does your agent try to advise you as much? Like, let's say if you worked out with the Giants and the Jets, okay, let's just be simple. And let's say they both wanted you to work out, would the agent advise you one way or the other?
Right, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if I wasn't drafted in draft day, I wanted a plan. I wanted something planned out. I sat down with my family. We planned, talked about, our concerns and what would be the best spot. Who do you think would be interested? And, same thing with my agent. We talk to him, see who would be interested, and, if this team calls, what we would do. And basically just, have a plan and just to, see where everyone is,
mm-hmm.
come from.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily you're on Twitter, mm-hmm. and you have your own website, joemartinek.com, and your friend Chris Palermo takes care of that. What's your relationship with Chris?
Chris is, a big family friend. We've gotten to know him, very well. He's an alumni of Hapatcong High School. Very smart guy. He, approached me, in high school, approached me and my family if we wanted, because counting down for the state record. That's what the site originally started as, was, a countdown, how many yards they needed for the state record. Once it went from there, we decided, we got something good here. Let's keep it going. Let's keep, interacting, with the community, with the fans and everything. And that's what I love. I love hearing, I love getting emails. If you email me, it comes right to me. I love hearing what people think, and if I, touch someone or help someone in any way, that's what I want to do. I just want to help people and spread what I've learned to them. So the site, Twitter and everything is a way for me to do that. And he's he's a great friend of the family, and does a great job with the website.
Mm-hmm. Now, for any high school athlete that had like the same situation as you did, can you just give us some brief advice that you would give to those kids if you were from a small school? How would you get yourself noticed? I
mean, it's hard, but you got to really want it. You got to really want to work hard, and some Friday, Saturday nights when your friends are going out, doing something. I'd be in the gym. I'd be with my trainer. I've had, I still have the same trainer. I've had him since 8th grade. Just continue to work hard. Get your name out there. Send your tape. Send anything. To colleges. Scouts. Anything. Just get your name out there, and like I said, just continue to work hard. And especially if you're in high school, grades are very important. First thing that scouts ask, my high school coaches, how my grades were. Because if it was, if it wasn't high enough, then they would walk right out. So, that's very, very important.
Okay. Well, you've been a great help for us. You've been a great help for people who want to make it in the pros. For everyone here at Bergen Outlook, we'd like to thank you very much for spending time with us today. We deeply appreciate it. You don't know how much this means to us. And for everyone here at Bergen Outlook, I'm Daniel Graham. I was your host this week. Once again, Joe Martinek. You'll probably see him in the Super Bowl one day, maybe in a Pro Bowl. But we're going to wrap it up from here, so take good care, and we'll see you next week.